Not all outdoor encounters give you time to react. Some happen in seconds. Others build slowly until something feels wrong. From a tornado tearing through a campsite just moments after they escape, to a toy car moving on its own inside an abandoned asylum while a dog reacts first. When danger and the unknown overlap, it's not always clear what you're facing. So if you were there, would you trust what you see or what you feel? YouTuber Awakened Av and his friends had set up camp during their thru hike along the Appalachian Trail when a powerful windstorm suddenly moved in. What followed forced them to run for their lives.
Whoa, man. There's gonna be some dead falls tonight.
At first, they didn't treat it as a serious danger. Other hikers nearby even pulled out their phones to record the unusual weather. It seemed like just another strong storm passing through the mountains. Then a weather alert changed everything. A tornado was heading directly toward their location.
Where's library? Library, come on!
The group rushed back toward their truck while continuing to capture the intense gusts. Trees bent sharply under the pressure of the wind, and loose debris turned into dangerous objects flying around them.
So we just had a tree come down on top of us almost. It is whipping. Was that your tent it almost missed?
Abe and his friends jumped into the truck and drove away, escaping only moments before the tornado tore directly through their campsite. Storms can shift from normal to life-threatening within seconds, especially in exposed areas. If you had been there, would you have left immediately or stayed to keep filming? On January 20th, 2021, a tense piece of mountain footage was uploaded to YouTube. It was shared by a creator known as Scrawny Mountain Dad. In the video, Scrawny was out on a trail run in the Maroon Bell snowmass area of western Colorado. Everything appeared to be going smoothly until, without any warning, his run suddenly turned into a fight for survival.
There's 2 more cubs 20 yards away, and the sow just charged up here, but she couldn't see me. Fuck. They're going higher in the tree. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. Hey! 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 Back up! Back up! I'm gonna spray you, Mama. I'm gonna spray you. Back up. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Mama, I'm leaving. Hey, back up. Back up, Mama, back up.
Out of nowhere, a black bear stepped onto the trail and charged almost immediately, giving him barely any time to react. Scrawny had to make a split-second decision. He pulled out his bear spray and turned to run.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Twice in one day. Holy shit. I can't believe I actually sprayed her. Holy fuck. Yup, it's a perfect bear environment. An avalanche chute. I wanted to get off this ridge because I was making really slow time and I'm already running 14 miles now. That was exciting. All right, signing out.
Fortunately, he was able to put enough distance between himself and the animal and escape without injury. Wild animals do not give warnings the way people do, and sometimes a situation changes before you even realize it. If you had been on that trail, would you have reacted quickly enough or frozen in place? This video comes from Wild Bliss Bunny, a solo female outdoor creator known for minimalist camping, urban stealth setups, and lightweight backpacking. On February 14, 2026, the footage was uploaded from California, United States, filmed in an urban redwood grove near a public walking road.
Leave that while I get this together. Yeah, this is... Oops. Oopsie daisy. Wow, I'm really glad. I only have 4 of them. Hopefully that's enough. This could actually go around this tree if it was longer. I don't know if I need it. All right. It looks like it's up. I may need to go around and finesse the things. Yeah, that works. Maybe that's why you don't need as many, because a lot of them could go on the same one. I think I'm gonna put it on a longer one. Let's go in and see what it's like.
She finishes setting up her lightweight trekking pole tent among the redwoods. Earlier in the evening, her microphone had been damaged after her tripod fell, causing some frustration. Still, she adjusts and continues organizing her camp.
On the bike, and he kept doing circles around, and then he sat at and then he went and sat by a tree, and I was and then I thought he left, and then he came and he said knock knock after I set up my tent and everything. Why are you knock knocking? You know, why are you circling around on your bike and making it like you left? Come up and say knock knock in the dark. He doesn't even have a light or anything, so way too sketchy.
As time passes, the atmosphere shifts from calm to uneasy. A man rides around the area on a bike and lingers nearby. Although he seems to leave briefly, he remains somewhere close. Not knowing exactly where he is increases her awareness.
Not all the way to the tent. I don't know what he looks like, to be honest with you. I didn't get a good view of his face because it was so dark out. Why are you knock knocking me? I'm a female alone in the woods. The last thing I want is some dude all by himself.
Even after changing positions, he does not fully leave the area. Deciding the situation is too uncertain to ignore, she begins packing up her gear. Despite the inconvenience and disappointment, she chooses to leave the campsite entirely.
I can, and trust my gut. My gut was get the F out of there. So I'm sorry, guys. This is a really short little video. There's not going to be a lot of footage, but I definitely had to abandon camp tonight. And my microphone broke. Man, it just was not my night tonight. But, in that particular spot, there is a lot of noise, so I don't know what it's gonna...
The damaged equipment from earlier becomes insignificant compared to the discomfort of feeling watched in the dark. Sometimes there is no clear threat, only behavior that feels off. If you had been alone in that grove, would you have stayed or packed up and left? On January 18th, 2018, a disturbing video was uploaded to a YouTube channel run by the Utah Avalanche Center. In the footage, a group of riders can be seen enjoying the slopes in Providence Canyon near Logan. They move through the mountains, laughing and riding freely, clearly having a good time. The atmosphere feels calm and relaxed. Without warning, everything changes. Suddenly, an avalanche breaks loose above them. Two riders try to outrun the moving snow. One manages to escape. The other is not as lucky. He is thrown from his snowmobile and caught near the trailing edge of the shifting debris. A short time later, he comes back into view, stumbling forward, visibly shaken and injured. In environments like this, small changes can trigger massive consequences, and timing can make all the difference. If you had been there, would you have recognized the warning signs? On November 17, 2025, Franco from Franco Travels returned to an abandoned asylum, a place connected to hundreds of deaths and known for a long history of unusual activity. His channel focuses on exploring dangerous, forgotten locations, often alone, except for his dog, Chocolata. But from the moment they entered the asylum, felt unusually aware, as if something had noticed their presence. The tension started early inside room number 1.
I am now in room number 1. This is where a lot of people used to stay here, sleep here, people that were pretty much mentally ill and couldn't pretty much survive for themselves. So they were brought into these places like this, these little facilities, kind of like Penthurst. And they were brought here where eventually they passed on, or they were let go or transferred to a different location. And there's many rooms that are just like this. There's also a funeral home that's also connected to this place. But I'm just walking through here now and I already see somebody's shoes that they left here. Look at this. This was somebody's shoe that used to live here. You see, it was worn out. I do get a lot of Penthurst vibes from this place though. I just heard a loud bang on that door. I think that could probably be Chocolate. Thing is, I don't want Chocolate inside just yet because I want to see what noises I can get being in here without the dog distracting me. It's my first time kind of exploring this place. The good news about this place is that it's well protected, so there isn't like a lot of vandalisms or breaking in and destroying and stuff. But still, this place is pretty creepy just walking through here.
Where the silence was broken by a sudden violent shake from the window and a sharp bang near the doorway. Old belongings were scattered around him, left untouched for years, yet not feeling truly abandoned. And deeper inside, the building seemed ready to react.
You okay, Choco? Look at all this. There's a lot of prayer that went on here. Look, there's some more stuff here. Choco, what you looking at? I'm gonna bring up the brightness here. It's a little bit loud here. Right behind this wall is the main road. All right. Found a bathroom with a cabinet. Oh shit. Was that you? I just heard a loud bang right outside. That's probably coming from outside. You hear that? All right, there doesn't seem to be much back here. So at this point now, I'm gonna head a little bit further out of this area. There's way too many noises coming out. Come on, Chocolate. That was right in front of me. That was right in front of me. Chocolate, I heard that too. Oh, fuck. All right, I'm gonna get out of this area. What is this called? Sala de terapia física. Therapy. It looks like somebody's medication. All right, so I'm gonna shut this place up here. I definitely heard what sounded like something hitting the window. I'm not sure what that was about. Come on. There we go. All right. Look. Oh, what the fuck is that? Choco, come here. You saw that? He's just staring outside. I know the curtains are moving, but that looked weird. It looked like something was touching the curtains. Come here, Choco. Oh, shit. Just heard a noise outside again. Thing is, a lot of the noises that I'm hearing outside could be just right over the wall from people's cars. I literally look like what... It looked like something touching the window. I want to see if it happens again. Hola? Oh, that was creepy. So the dog is just staring at this room here for no reason.
In the next corridor, a curtain moved, as if brushed by something unseen, followed by a low moaning sound drifting through the hall. The sound wasn't steady. It rose and faded, like a breath coming from the darkness. That was when movement near the windows caught his attention. A dark shape passed quickly across the window, fast, sharp, and in the same corner where earlier shadows had disappeared. The figure pulled back the moment he turned, leaving only stillness behind the empty frame. But the doorway ahead led into something even more unsettling. Inside the hospital area, Chocolata rushed forward before suddenly stopping.
That's a cute dog. What the fuck was that? That's a cute dog. What the fuck was that? That's a cute dog. What the fuck was that? I just saw something right back there in the window. And right when I was recording it earlier, my camera completely just flat out died. What the hell was that? You hear him? Choco. It's a dog, like, I can't hear. There's so much noises outside. Chocolate. I'm actually nervous to come in here. I'm gonna turn on my IR. Choco. You okay, buddy? What is that? Chocolate, come here. Psst. I don't know why I got goosebumps right now. Right now I'm actually kind of scared. What the fuck is that? Alright, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god. Perfect timing for that. That was like a whole build-up. Yeah, this is locked. Jesus Christ. Now you come? I can't go outside, it's locked. Right now, the dog is just going crazy about something in the room over here. And as I was going through here, I was hearing a lot of loud noises coming from this door. But the whole door is locked, I can't even go outside. What's wrong? Choco. Move, let me see. There's nothing here. Let me see what's in here. I got something. Choco, what's wrong? It's just a toy car. This dog, as soon as I went in for this, it just ran away.
Staring toward the cupboard while letting out anxious whimpers. The dog's panic grew as Franco approached the small toy car hidden inside, and his camera cut off shortly after. Whatever caused that reaction did not remain quiet for long. When Franco returned alone, the toy car moved across the floor by itself, sliding toward the corner as the K2 meter spiked in his hand. The activity reached its peak and then stopped just as suddenly as it began settling into a silence that felt heavier than before. Franco gathered Chocolata and ended the investigation, leaving the asylum behind for the night. Viewers later pointed out details he had missed: a figure behind the window marks in the dust near the toy car, faint laughter and shadows retreating into corners. Many noticed how Chocolata reacted first, as if sensing something that stayed just out of sight. If the movement, the shadows, and the dog's fear all focused on the same room, was something returning to claim the toy or watching him from the darkness the entire time, the silence of the asylum leaves that unanswered. On November 30th, 2020, Alberto del Arco returned to one of Mexico's most unsettling abandoned country homes, a place long believed to be tied to the spirit of a drowned young girl. Accompanied by psychic Luisa Cardenas, he set out to explore the shadows that locals avoid entirely. On his channel, known for in-depth paranormal investigations, this case would become one of his most disturbing experiences. The moment they stepped inside, a sharp sound echoed through the house.
¿Escuchan como si alguien estuviera caminando arriba?
Ajá, como pasos.
Ajá. Mira, aquí hay otra habitación, Alberto. Pero no, donde se sienten las energías es en la parte de arriba.
Arriba, aquí está tranquilo, ¿verdad?
Sí, de hecho esta habitación se siente mucho más tranquila que aquella. ¿La sienten? Como
Sí.
Diferente. Aquí se siente
Está mucho más
tranquilidad, paz.
Ok, subimos.
Algo
¿Dónde
se
fue?
oyó. Fue arriba.
¿Arriba? Ok.
¿Quieres comunicarte con nosotros? Ven, no te vamos a hacer nada. Estamos aquí para ayudarte.
Hay muchas habitaciones aquí. Hay un olor raro. No sé, es humedad.
Abajo se escuchó algo.
And a rosary lay on the floor, as if it had been pushed there. Luisa sensed an energy that felt unwelcoming, describing it as openly hostile. Soon after, footsteps were heard from the upper floor, steady, deliberate, and coming from an area they had not yet entered. A sense of pressure seemed to draw them further inside. Upstairs, a heavy door slowly began to close on its own, and the air inside one room grew dense enough to make breathing uncomfortable. The group continued, only to hear soft giggling coming from outside. At the balcony, Alberto noticed a small figure running away, followed by faint cries near the pool where the young girl had drowned. Each sound seemed to pull them toward the yard, as if something wanted to be discovered. The tension reached its peak near a small storage room, where a childlike silhouette appeared, briefly, long hair, small frame, before slipping back into the darkness. When they reached the doorway, the room was empty, filled only with scattered toys. A quiet laugh echoed through the air as Alberto spoke, lingering long enough to make everyone freeze. The group stood in silence, aware that whatever was there had been watching them the entire time. Luisa explained that multiple spirits remained in the house, and the girl's presence felt more innocent than threatening. She believed the child did not realize she had passed, and continued treating the property like a place to play, reacting to anyone who entered. If the girl was only looking for company, then what darker presence moved through the house alongside her? And more importantly, what did you notice in these moments that the team may have missed? On April 29th, 2024, a video uploaded to the YouTube channel Becca Y captured an unexpectedly tense night during a truck camping trip in Texas. The channel usually highlights solo travel road life and peaceful outdoor camping with her dog Sky. But that night unfolded very differently. While traveling near the Oklahoma-Texas border and heading toward Dallas, Becca began receiving repeated tornado warnings on her phone. Before continuing the trip, she stopped to replace her Crocs with a new pair, just in case she needed to move around during the storm. She then continued driving toward Dallas. what would normally be a 30-minute drive suddenly felt much longer than expected.
I didn't bring my cameras with when I arrived to Dallas after, it was almost an hour and a half drive that was only supposed to be 30 minutes. I lost count of the amount of accidents that I saw because of the flooding on the highways. People were hitting the puddles and then crashing. It wasn't like two cars hitting each other like a normal accident. People were just crashing from big gust of wind, and they were just hitting the guardrail. We are in a 3 out of 5 area zone, which means we have a pretty good chance of getting a tornado tonight into tomorrow morning.
Heavy rain covered the highway, making it difficult for vehicles to travel safely. Some drivers struggled to maintain control, and accidents began appearing along the road. As the weather intensified, she decided to stop for the night at a Walmart parking lot in Dallas. The wind was already strong, so she chose to stay inside the truck rather than set up the roof tent, even though the space inside was cramped. Inside the vehicle, she tried to keep the night as normal as possible. She prepared a simple meal of steak and asparagus, but the sound of the storm outside made it difficult to relax.
Can you guys hear that over the fans? Holy crap. I'm just too nervous to even finish eating dinner. I don't even have an appetite as much as I thought I would. It's 11 o'clock at night. The storm's supposed to get really bad in less than an hour. I'm nervous, so I figured it's almost safer in my front seat. I'm gonna sit in here for a while, just think of a game plan.
Rain pounded against the truck, and every gust of wind reminded her how unstable the conditions had become. Later in the night, she decided to move again.
We got some lightning. The rain is slowly starting. So we left Walmart, now we're at Home Depot. And honestly, this is better, view-wise. Oh my goodness, the lightning. It's only 2:30 a.m. right now. We're in the tornado effect area. I just checked on my phone. It's not even raining. I also don't even hear thunder. Isn't that how that works? You can't have lightning without thunder. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
Around 2:30 in the morning, feeling exhausted and mentally drained, she drove to a nearby Home Depot parking lot where she hoped to better see the sky and surrounding area. Not long after arriving, something unexpected happened.
I feel like you guys are screaming at me right now to go to Ryan's house. And I'm actually kind of considering, it would have been different if I went earlier. 11 o'clock probably would have been the latest I would have felt comfortable showing up. But he's probably asleep. We gotta go. This is stupid. Shout out Home Depot. Oh my god! Oh my god. I can't believe I got that on video. The lightning was in front of me, now it's over there.
A sudden lightning strike hit. The flash lit up the road ahead and startled her immediately. Moments later, she noticed something unusual in the sky.
Dude, someone's on a bike right now. Are you good? Why is the sky colored like that? Is that normal?
The clouds carried a strange color that made the storm appear even more unsettling. Shortly after that, she passed a cyclist riding through the storm in the early morning darkness. The sight surprised her. It was difficult to imagine how someone could be riding a bicycle in weather like that. Eventually, Becca decided the safest option was to drive to a friend's home in Dallas to wait out the storm. During the night, one thunderstrike was so powerful that it shook the ground. The impact was strong enough to trigger nearby car alarms. Even Skye, normally calm during their trips, became visibly frightened by the sound. By early morning, the storm finally began to pass. Many viewers later noted that storms in this region can become dangerous very quickly, especially during tornado season. Even experienced travelers can be caught off guard. If you were traveling alone during warnings like this, would you stay parked or keep driving to find shelter? On March 18, 2023, the YouTube channel English Woodsman released a video titled Unwanted Visitor when tent camping in the wild. In this episode, the creator travels into a private woodland in the UK to test a low-cost dream tent he recently picked up from a clearance bundle. The plan is simple setup camp, cook dinner, and spend a quiet night alone in the forest. But once darkness settles in the peaceful woodland, begins to feel very different.
So it's got a clear rip, and there's the clips what's supposed to keep the tent in place. But the tent isn't too bad. From what I've seen putting it up once anyway, I think this sort of video is the way you should do it. Garden, or if you've got a bit of private woodland to go to, go there, test your equipment. Then if there's something wrong, you're not stuck away from home. So this is the inner of the tent. I'm gonna have to do something about the zip, because the zip is so dry.
As he unpacks his gear, he quickly notices an issue. The tent bag is torn, and several of the clips appear damaged. This raises concerns about how reliable the equipment really is. He then starts setting up the tent. While putting the structure together, he notices something else.
Inside the tent, and there's something that I've realised what I didn't when I first set the tent up. I've got 1, 2, 3 holes here in the top of the tent, and if it does rain, well, that's the point where it's going to come down. You might be able to see the sky through it a little bit. Okay, you can see 2 of them here. There, oh, you can see all 3 now there, look. So I am quite happy because I've got a solution how to sort the tent out with them 3 holes in it. Like I said, I've got 2 new pieces of item that I'm going to try tonight. So within the sleeping mat, you get like some patches in case that gets an hole in it. So I'm going to use them, hopefully, to repair the tent.
There are 3 small holes in the roof of the tent. If it rains, later water could leak through. To deal with the problem, he uses repair patches that came with a new sleeping pad. He carefully places the patches over the holes in the fabric. It may not be a perfect solution, but he hopes it will last through the night. Later, he prepares dinner near the entrance of the tent. For the meal, he cooks salmon first, then makes a simple chicken stir-fry.
Right, so next round of food is a chicken stir-fry. That salmon would nowhere been good enough for me. Now let's give it a bit of colour now, isn't it? Now, I wonder what's going on because there's just been a massive set of helicopters go overhead. Just started to get proper dark now anyway. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, some sort of army training or something.
As evening turns into night, an unexpected sound breaks the silence of the forest. A military helicopter passes overhead. The noise echoes through the trees before fading into the distance. Not long after rain begins to fall. Inside the tent, he checks the repair patches on the roof and hopes they will keep the interior dry.
Right, so we're in the tents now. The rain started, and I've got a small problem with them 3 little holes. I have these, and these are from the air mat. I have 2 of them, and I'm going to have to stick them over the holes, so maybe I just have to use 1. It's not ideal, but it's better than it leaking in. We're getting there. That's patch number 1 done. Just need to get the next one. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term fix, but at least for tonight it'll be alright, I think. I'm just going to have a quick look over, see if there's any more that I do need to cover up before I decide to get into my sleeping bag.
Later in the night, he suddenly wakes up to the sound of footsteps outside the tent. Something is clearly moving around the campsite.
Just been walking by something that seemed to be walking around my tent a bit. And it's woke Dan up as well, because Dan's just messaged me. You know, the guidelines that you pull out, something I felt, no, not, I don't know, it's just, it woke me up so quick. Raining as well. Now if I were by myself, I'd be a little bit more nervous, let's say. I get there's wildlife and things like that.
The slow steps circle the area more than once, making it hard to tell how close it really is. When he shines his light outside, the rain and darkness hide whatever might be there. At one moment, it even feels as if something or someone is standing right beside the thin wall of the tent. After a while, the sounds finally stop and the forest becomes quiet again. When morning arrives, he checks the campsite and the tent. Because the equipment is damaged and the tent is wet, he decides to pack up earlier than planned. In forests, at night, rain and darkness can make small animals sound much larger than they are. Still, when footsteps circle a tent in the dark, it can feel unsettling. So, what do you think visited the campsite that night? An animal exploring the area, or something else moving quietly through the woods?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.